Hi there, I'm Nu-Trix, and today I'm gonna share with you the process that I've been looking into with the Polyend Play Plus to create songs. I'll explain a little bit of the background of where I am and what I'm trying to do, and there's two results out of this that I will talk about in this video. First of all is the fact that when I got the Polyend Play Plus, it's a device that I didn't think I would buy, outside of the fact that I was hyped about, oh, this should be fun, but it wasn't part of what I wanted to buy. It's kind of weird, but I saw it at a good price and I said, I got to get it. So I got it and I started making videos basically to teach how it works. And my goal was to say, okay, I'm going to use it for, I don't know, 6 months, a year, make videos, and then sell it, buy another piece of gear, and then do some, thing with the next piece. And I talked about the way this works, and the Polyend Play and the Play Plus, they both have this different way of making music. It also forces you to think differently and the way that you're processing music, preparing music, creating music. That part is still, for me, something that sometimes I just go, oh, okay, that's right. It doesn't work the way I think. It works in a different way. So I still have to switch mental mode about how this thing works. It's not bad. It's actually interesting because it forces me to have a different approach. And it is one of the things that I was looking this year when I bought this one and I bought the Syntax. And there's a lot of things that become not cons, but difficulties or questions that I have as I'm producing a whole song. So let's just dive into where I'm at with this song that I've been working on and the process of making the different steps into making it into a song has been one way to learn more about the Polyend Play Plus. It also brings out question about how to produce with the Polyend Play or the Play Plus, because it's the same logic. It's just that the Play Plus has stereo samples and it has synthesizers in it. So I started with a song, which was just one pattern. And if we switch to pattern mode and you see all the patterns, I think it was this one. If I isolate this one, so this one is simple. So it was really just a way of using, for this one, generating with the fill function, generating beats, and then going into randomize and randomizing the sample in the folder. You can just say randomize value, sample in folder, and as I play it, so by doing instead of sample in pool, I did sample in folder. So I was only using the sample in the folder of the drums. And if I'm not mistaken, if I go back here, sometimes I don't remember. If I look at my samples, if I view the sample pool, I have, these are the Drum Brute Impact samples that I made. So if you want to have these, they exist on my Patreon page. Some of them are free, some of them are paid for. So I use them to get that sound of the boo and all that stuff. So I'm basically going through different sounds on one track. Now keep that in mind because later on it becomes somewhat of a problem depending on how I want to work. So I've got this, and I'm working with this song, with this beat at that point, and I'm wondering what else can I do with it. And at one point, well, I decide to add, because I was just going back between this and other patterns. And I think one of the hardest things sometimes is to get out of that a single pattern loop and flesh out something that becomes an evolution, a song, and surprising and brings people attention. So I was kind of wondering if I was going to be stuck in that one beat only. So what I did, I added a synthesizer. Too simple, but it takes it to the place I want. And I have these other. You have this one, and you have this one. The two together. Okay. So that's kind of the groove that I'm starting with. I like the vibe, I like the speed, I like the sounds, and I'm wondering what else can I bring into that. So I start playing with stuff like, you can perform here and play it with perform and say, well, I'm going to effect to, actually I'm going to switch here, and I'm going to effect to, I don't know. So you can play with this, and it triggers ideas. But now when you play perform, remember, one thing that I like the most about the performer is playing with the rearrangement here. But these, you can actually use them later on in the song. So if I go back here, I can select these here and say, I want these to change the way they play. And in the play mode here, you can say, I want to use, and all the different rearrangement function exists in the play mode. So if you liked one, you can come back here and let's say, I don't know, the hat trick. You see now this is what plays. So you can really play with this and rearrange one beat into something else. So in my case, this one is basically, if you go back here and you look at these one, he's in trigger mode. So that's what he's doing. So it becomes a breakdown, and then we start again the song. So I can now have, but just by using this, I'm copying the same. Oh yeah, managing patterns. What I do is that I started making my patterns over here. And these were the starting points. And then I copy them. If I like what I wanted, I copy them to create a chain here. Because if you know this, you can actually change them. And you can actually change these. And if you press on one, and as you press play, you press shift before. You see now it's play chain. It's going to play the whole thing all together and then loop it. So it's interesting to have that whole chain. So and now with this one, I have about a 3-minute long song. If I play this. The other approach now after that was, how do I do build up? So I went to the first one and I say, I've got less stuff. This is mostly what I started with. That's the first one. I just place the sounds. I play the rhythm. I added a little bit of stuff just to have it the way I want. But then I switched to the first one where I pulled out some of the sounds and I added a bass. So I still have the most important part of the drum that I like, all these different sound happening. Well, I have the bass now that is kind of a lead playing, and I have a little bit of, punctuated other notes that appears brighter and whiter because they're in the reverb. So I do that twice, and then I go with the one that has the bass, the line, the synth happening. And And I got stuck on this one for a long time because I didn't know where to go from that point. I didn't know where to, I mean, I could just play other notes, but it was just, I wanted to have something else happening. So I have the break. The next one was bring in a pad. So this pad, you have actually two sounds. Another one coming in. And so you have three different samples being played. And I played a bit more about with the synthesizers. Comes wide. And then close again. So you have basically, these are samples of pads, and I just have one note playing and you have that pad coming in. I just went back to sample here, and these. Now, if you want to listen to a pad, a step, you can press on the knob and press on the sound. You can identify where they are, and if you want, you can change after that. But so that's the first one, the second one. So there's a change in the sound, but also in the note, and I like that. It just it's kind of a surprise. And then the next one, we got this happening twice. Then I switch to having a big bass, a drone bass under it. But this is something that I started just last week when I like to compose, not here. So I took it and I was upstairs in the living room with headphones, and I said, okay, I need something else, because I felt that it was just like always just the same type of space being used, and there was a bottom outside of the kick coming in, there was lacking stuff. So I said, let's bring it in, and so I basically went into here, another track, and this track is really just and I started with just going into fill and say, bring me fill a bass, and I tried different ones, and then I cleaned them up. I changed a little bit of it, and I changed the sound until I felt like, okay, this is the one I like, and it became that little. And again, I pull out other things out, so really the bass becomes important here. Now this is distorting. And then I play that twice, and then I bring the snare in, and then it restarts kind of the song, and I distort the hell out of this here. Let's go here. And that's where I got a problem, because now that line, if I copied it from another track, if I go back here, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You have this one and this one. Okay, this line here and this line here, they used to be the same line that is the first one here. But when you start wanting to control the volume of them, because I felt that if I wanted to control the overbearing bass of the kick, this one and this, so I wanted to be able to control that differently than the rest of this. So these are on two different channels now, two different tracks. I can easily select the track and change the volume of that track or add distortion to this. I use a lot of bit depth reduction on this one. And it creates that nice distortion, but you still have a lot of bottom because the bass is there, you know? And I added more snares and movement, and so now the snare becomes part of the discussion now. And then the next one, I actually start playing with, bring that into perform, then play with, see if I go back here, you'll see that what I'm talking about. I'm using play mode Funkster. So you see these movement here. So you create a different rhythm, but with the same bass playing at the back. Then what do we have here? Then again, same thing, but by controlling the bass at that point, to give more space for the drum to play. And then I bring back the pads, but then the drum's gone, because now the pads take everything, and the bass, so you get all the sound, you can take the time to listen to them. And then I bring back the kick, the snare, and everything starts distorting. And at the end, I'm thinking that I'm going to isolate something. Either I keep this, or I'm just going to keep the pad and the bass playing at the end. So I'm just going to finish with that. And if it loops back to the... For those who want to have the full song, I will provide the full song in a file, this version anyway, in the Patreon. Now, I'm at the point that I feel I did what I wanted to do with the Polyend Play, and I want to mix it. And this is where the track way of working, it's kind of a pain if I didn't think about the fact that, I don't know, this one's very louder than the other one. I might want to control this differently, and I might want to have this with an effect on it. So it means that I would have to go in and say, well, I'm going to copy this one here instead and get rid of this one. So now this one. So I have to rearrange samples and look at these tracks as how I want to process them, EQ them, distortion, reverb, whatever it is. So I have to go through all of the different patterns because and that's where the chain is kind of a pain because, oh, that's nice. The chain is kind of a pain. Okay. Because if I want to do this for sound management, for all of the tracks, all of the patterns, there's no way to do it. And there's no clone patterns. Like, I don't know, there would be a shift copy. Maybe there is, I don't know. But if you could have a shift copy when you do here, copy this and you press this and you copy to the next one. But if you could do shift and copy and I don't know, you would have can we do this? No. It would be a kind of a clone that is linked to the first one. So if I change the first one, the second one changes also. So it could be a different color. I don't know. But with that logic, it means that if I change the first one, all of the clones would change, which is not the case. It means that I have to go, and if I have this kick that I want to isolate because I'm going to process it with a compressor differently than the rest of the sound, because the rest of the sounds are lower and different, and I want to process them separately, then I would need to go into each of my patterns here and manually change everything. So that's where it's not a problem per se, but it's time consuming. And if you're in kind of the process of, oh, I've got ideas, I'm going to mix it, you're just like, okay, there's no way to do this quickly unless you think about it first. So the way I'm working at it now is like, okay, I'm switching to production mode, and then I'm going to the computer. And as you see on my computer now, I have live. What's interesting about the Polyend Play Plus is you have all of the tracks coming in. You see all of them. If I take a part that you have everything playing, you see you've got a lot of inputs coming in. You get input 1 and 2. They're stereo inputs. I'm in monitor mode up to 25, 26. These are effects here. So 25, 26, and 27, 28. I think this is reverb and delay. Not sure, but if I'm not mistaken. So it's easy after that to say, I'm going to put effects on this one, and also record it as a big file and then work with it and finish the, polishing the last the resulting sound of this thing. So that's where I'm at now, is thinking about how I'm going to process this, mixing all of this. But the fact that you got separate tracks coming into live is a great way to start making this now. To force me to already at the beginning start to separate the tracks would be to do this at least in the first stage of the song, because it would trigger ideas of, okay, I should separate these sounds. I like the way this whole thing sounds, but I know I'm going to want to separate that sound somewhere else. So generate ideas and then start separating on tracks, knowing how you expect to treat them in the process. For me, it's probably something I would have to stop and say, I have to do that now before I start copying, and then creating all these other parts. And then I'll have to go back and re-edit all the tracks separately. So I'm kind of in between understanding how I want to do this. I'm learning as I'm going. If you have better tips on how to approach this, I'll be super happy to hear them. If you have other things that you think I should try, or there's techniques that I haven't looked at, put them below. I'll be more than happy to test out and learn as I go. But right now, as I'm looking at this, the Polyend Play Plus was a piece that I didn't want to buy. I bought because the price was cheap and I could do something with it for videos. And in the end, I'm really digging the way it works. I'm still fighting. There's still some stuff that I'm fighting with. But generally speaking, it brings me into making songs that I would have never done if I wasn't working with the Polyend Play Plus. I would have gone totally different ways. Whereas on the Syntact, I'm working on a way that I'm redoing vintage songs that I did 30 years ago. So I'm recreating a new version of them, that songs that it was never released. So I have a totally different workflow on that than this one. But I'm still curious about what the Polyend Play Plus can bring to the table. I'm still not a big fan of the synthesizer in it. They're doing their jobs, but I have other pieces of gear that I prefer the sound. It doesn't mean they're bad. I never was a big fan of wavetable and FM, so by default, there's a lot of it in it. I mean, there's not a lot of it, but it's part of the sound of the device. So I know people are a big fan of it, but my first synth was an FM synth, and I think I got traumatized with that. Anyway, that's it for today. If you want access to these, to the songs and some of the files, they'll be on Patreon. I hope this is useful. It's summertime. I'm going to spend time exploring more of this because I'm going to have me time more. That's it. Stay safe. Make more music. I'll see you soon. Cheers.